In May 2013, 12 experts from Africa and Asia came to Peru to take part in the study tour on small-scale farming. ELA, which stands for Evidence and Lessons from Latin America, is a program funded by the UK Aid. The idea of this program is to share policies and experiences in Latin America with actors in Africa and Asia, as this is a South-South learning exchange. The most interactive of the ELA products has been the Learning Alliance, and here in Peru it focused on small-scale farming. The Learning Alliance is an online space which brings together interested professionals working on this specific theme, whereby we follow a curriculum and discuss a variety of issues. It is an opportunity to network with other people from different countries and to share policies and practices across the 3 regions. Over 10 days, participants held meetings in Lima with Peruvian national-level stakeholders about developments and challenges around small-scale farming in Peru. They met with the director of the Peruvian Center of Social Studies, CEPES, to discuss agricultural development in Peru and the evolution of land use and planning. Then they met with the Ministry of Agriculture and learned about local public policies being applied in the sector.
I'm struck by a few things in Peru actually. One thing that struck me was how the Agriculture Ministry and the Ministry of Development and Inclusion is working, how they are cooperating with each other. The other lesson is, for me, is the whole activism around land titling, land grabbing, how to include production costs, how to understand them, how to then go to the market, how to negotiate with companies. I think that's really something very striking.
Outside Lima, participants visited 2 main agricultural areas. In the Peruvian highlands, they witnessed the agricultural practices being undertaken and discussed with different actors, including farmers and rural communities delegates.
One thing that I find particularly of interest in case of Peru is the local opinions and the local movements which actually try to work in the favor of small or marginalized communities.
Well, the coordination of the ministries, they are training farmers and teaching them that farming is not a subsistence but a business. And I think that is very, very important if you are working with farmers. Tell them the cost that you are putting in is very, very important. The day you move out, they must be able to carry that cost.
The study tour was the culmination of the Learning Alliance, providing an opportunity for selected members to interact with each other and with their Latin American counterparts, as well as seeing practices which are really taking place here in Peru. The idea of the visit was to show participants good practices that may potentially be adapted and applied within their own context. The study tour also provided participants an opportunity to network and to potentially set up collaborative efforts.
There are 3-4 crops I found very much interesting. Since the contract farming system has been implemented through 3 different mechanisms, through the cooperatives, through the NGO, and directly through the company to the farmers. So I saw those 3 models, which is very much replicable to my back home situation.
Found out that native varieties are being regenerated, maintained, and being used as a source of income by the farmers. the kind of infrastructures that has reached the most remote areas in Peru, especially the highlands. Power supply, water supply, reticulation of water for irrigation has been brought to the doorsteps of farmers in these rural areas. This, coupled with the incoming of cooperative groups and private sector, I'm sure we could be able to do something similar to what is happening in Peru.
My name is Niranjan Rajbhandari and I come from Nepal. I live in Kathmandu and by profession I'm an agronomist. This is the ultimate experience. This is the highest I have ever been in my life. And the main learning I have done that, I have experience in this country is that the people's participation, also working for the farmers and the institutional setup. It's really working in Peru. So thank you very much, Ella and all the team.
In the southern coast, participants exchanged with agro-expert and private sector representatives on how social and economic issues are addressed in the development of one of South America's largest contract farming operations in a desert area.
The most striking thing to me was issues of quality, systems that are put in place. And I think when I go back in my company, I'll try to follow the systems of qualities.
Amazing facility, which shows you how exports can drive agriculture to become so efficient.
What I'm taking to Uganda from the e-learning exercise and all the study tour which we've just undertaken is that small farming is business.
In the last day, they gathered at Grade to assess the lessons learned during the visit and exchange about how they could share and put these lessons into action in their own countries.
The memories of what have happened will always continue to remain. And a lot is going to be emulated by us in Nigeria. Thank you very much for the opportunity.